Everybody, and welcome back to Team Vikavolt's YouTube channel. In today's video, we have another list to share from you coming out of Japan that is centered around Mega Evolution, which drops later this September. Yes, this month, in just a few weeks, we should see some pre-releases popping up, and then official releases, and good luck if you see them on the store shelves. This is a really big fan favorite of mine. Mega Kangaskhan EX is one of the central attackers in this list that I will be sharing with you. But first, we're going to take a walk through this deck list, a little bit of the strategy, a little bit of the supporting Pokemon before we ultimately get to the list. So please stay tuned as we begin right here, right now. I already mentioned that Mega Kangaskhan EX is a central force in this deck list. It has 300 HP coming out in Mega Evolution, not released just yet, but we do thankfully have an English translation for this. We have the ability Run Errand, which lets you draw cards. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you get to use this ability. You get to draw 2 cards. You can't use more than one Run Errand ability each turn, which is kind of like a little bit of a blessing in disguise, because then you don't have to try and run like 4 Mega Kangaskhan EXs to try and just draw a bunch of cards, like Goldingo or something like that. Instead, you're kind of like, oh, well, I only get to use the ability once per turn, so I might as well only run a few copies, and that lets me worry about other slots in my deck list. You do have a pretty cool attack here as well for 3 colorless energy. Rapid Fire Combo does 200 damage, and then you flip a coin till you get tails, and it does 50 more damage for each head. So if you are a high roller like myself, then you can be knocking out anything your heart desires with a Mega Kangaskhan EX. Yeah. But if that doesn't work out for you, you do have some other attackers like Terapagos EX, which came out in Stellar Crown, has been around for a little bit, and it sees some play here and there in like Terra Box decks, and personally I use it as like its own archetype. But nonetheless, another Terra basic Pokemon, 230 HP. It is also double weak to fighting, just like Mega Kangaskhan EX, so watch out for those Mega Lucario EX matchups. Unified Beatdown is Terapagos EX's primary attack, does 30 damage for each bench Pokemon on your bench. And then you do have Crown Opal for a Grass Water Lightning energy cost, does 180 damage. And then during your next turn, you get to prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from basic non-colorless Pokemon, which means that you can get hit by opposing colorless Pokemon like Terapagos EX or Mega Kangaskhan EX or something to that effect. It does, however, grant you immunity from big basics, which are coming down the pipes in Mega Evolution, other Mega Basics, and it also does grant you some immunity from something scary like Raging Bolt EX, because it is a basic, but it's not a colorless Pokemon, and so Crown Opal could actually help you out in that matchup. Moving on, we do also have your typical support type Pokemon, Pheasantipity EX. Flip the Script ability allows you to draw 3 cards if you suffered a knockout. And you can only use one of those each turn as well. Latias EX gives your basic Pokemon free retreat with the Skyliner ability. And then you have the infamous Munkidori with the Adrena Brain ability. If it has any dark energy attached to it, you may move up to 3 damage counters from one of your Pokemon to one of your opponent's Pokemon. And you do also have Mind Bend, which sees some use every now and again. Usually when you're in a tight spot, 60 damage, and then your opponent's active Pokemon is confused. So we have those support Pokemon, but the list keeps on going. We have Bouffalant for the Curly Wall ability, which really adds the bulk to this deck. Curly Wall says that as long as you have at least one other Bouffalant in play, all of your basic colorless Pokemon take 60 less damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon, but the effect does not stack. So effectively, you are boosting your Mega Kangaskhan's HP from 300 to 360 with Curly Wall active. Fan Call is going to help you get set up. Once during your first turn, you get to search your deck for up to 3 colorless Pokemon with 100 HP or less. Reveal them and put them into your hand, not directly onto the bench, into your hand. And then you shuffle up and all that stuff. This is great for setting up your Noctowls, your Hoot Hoots, which will evolve into Noctowls, With the Jewel Seeker ability, if you have a Terra Pokemon in play, when you evolve into Noctowl, you get to, search your deck for up to 2 trainer cards, reveal them and put them into your hand. Adds a lot of consistency, and Noctowl, of course, has seen quite a bit of competitive play at various levels of competition all throughout last season and moving into this season also. When we get into the trainers, however, your A-Spec in this particular list is going to be Scoop Up Cyclone so that you can get those bulky Pokemon out of the way and deny prizes. Bravery Charm is just going to boost your HP even more for your basic Pokemon. And you do also have some energy acceleration with Glass Trumpet and Crispin. Glass Trumpet is, of course, an item card that you can only use if you have a Terra Pokemon in play. You get to choose up to 2 of your benched colorless Pokemon and attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to each of them. And then Crispin is, you get to search for 2 basic energy cards of different types, show them to your opponent, put one in your hand, that's the first thing that happens, and then the other one gets attached to your Pokemon with the effect of Crispin, and then you shuffle your deck. This is an excellent way to power up attackers, especially to get Crown Opal going with Terrapagos EX, and just attacks overall. Speaking of Terrapagos EX with its Crown Opal attack, with the Unified Beatdown attack, you are, of course, expanding the size of your bench to 8 instead of just 5 with the Stadium card Area 0 Underdepths. If you have a Terra Pokemon in play, you get to have up to 8 Pokemon on your bench, which is really helpful for making room for those Noctowl evolutions. And then if somebody bumps your Stadium into something else, you are able to get those Noctowls out of harm's way. They go straight to the discard pile. They don't give up prizes because they got bumped from the bench. And then you could potentially recycle them with various trainer cards. In addition, however, we do have a new supporter that is going to be included in this list, which we are very, very close to getting to. Lily's Determination. We don't have an English one for this one, I don't think, because it hasn't released in English yet, but it is some really, really strong support. You get to shuffle your hand into your deck, and then you draw 6 cards. But if you still have 6 prize cards remaining, you get to draw 8 cards instead. This is excellent shuffle draw, especially in the early game. You are seeing a whole lot more cards in the early game, which is always a good thing. And here is the list. We're running 3 Mega Kangaskhan EX because it is, of course, the central part of this deck list. It is the main attacker, even though it flips a lot of coins and stuff like that. And then we're also using Terrapagos EX, which we've already gone over. Any other inclusions I want to mention? You do run 2 Iono for some hand disruption, 1 copy of Brock's Scouting, which is the one count right there with Brock on it. It lets you search for a basic Pokemon or an was it 1 basic Pokemon? It's 2 basic Pokemon or 1 evolution Pokemon is what that supporter card allows you to do. You do also run 1 copy of Penny so that you can pick up a basic Pokemon and just deny more prizes. With all of the bulk that Mega Kangaskhan EX is getting with Curly Wall and with Bravery Charm, it's basically like 400 or so HP. And so it can tank a whole, at least 1 or 2 hits, and then you just move it out of the way and deny 3 prizes from your opponent with all of these scoop up effects that are in the deck. And so it's a pretty straightforward strategy. You just want to power up your attackers and stream the attackers and move them out of harm's way whenever they look like they're close to getting knocked out, and that's what you do. So here's the deck list. Huge shout out to the Japanese Twitter user at RaichuMKW. We have featured them on the channel many times. They make some pretty cool deck lists that I really like to feature. And there you have it. So if you made it to the end of the video, you're an awesome person. Thanks so much for all of your support, for all your time here today. I hope you enjoyed. Hope I didn't take too much time out of your busy schedule, and that you enjoyed this little video, this little upload. Let me know what you want to see next in the comments down below. I do have some lists that I could get into, and yeah, if I don't hear from anybody, I'll just keep on rolling these things out as we approach very soon the release in the West of Mega Evolution. So stay tuned, and thanks again. Bye-bye.